This is how Trump stole America.
Can now project that Donald Trump has won the state of Wisconsin, which means he is the winner of this race and will return to the White House as this country's 47th president. And for so many of you watching right now, that news is, to say the least, a lot to digest.
Nowhere was the power grab more glaring than the 2024 election itself. It was unprecedented. He emerged victorious. But in the back alleys of American politics, quiet questions swirled. Did he win fairly?
Now, as you speak to me, based on everything you have published and not yet published, that Donald Trump did not genuinely win the 2024 election?
As of right now, every set of data and additional evidence that we have found points to a serious concern that our election system could be compromised. It could have changed the outcome of not only the presidential election of the 24, but it could have also impacted state, Senate, and House positions that would go on to impact Congress.
This was the same man who had loudly claimed without evidence that the 2020 election was stolen from him. Yet now, evidence began to emerge of irregularities in 2024. Key swing states like Pennsylvania, Nevada, North Carolina flipped under circumstances some experts later called highly suspicious. And what a coincidence! Tech giants like Elon Musk, a Trump loyalist, had access to the very voting technologies and infrastructures at the heart of the election.
And then he journeyed to Pennsylvania, where he spent like a month and a half campaigning for me in Pennsylvania. And he's a popular guy, and he was very effective. And he knows those computers better than anybody, all those computers, those vote counting computers. And we ended up winning Pennsylvania like in a landslide, so it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
At the same time, the Epstein files returned to public attention. Trump had campaigned on releasing them and holding perpetrators accountable. But 9 months into his second term, with Republicans controlling every branch of government, the files remained sealed. Florida's own Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, admitted that the list was on her desk, yet no release came.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agents.
Then Trump himself dismissed the Epstein files as a hoax.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
It all felt too coordinated, too orchestrated. Like the 2024 election wasn't about democracy at all, but about vengeance and protection of the very elites he promised to expose.
It could have changed the outcome of not only the presidential election of the 24, but it could have also impacted state, Senate, and House positions that would go on to impact Congress.
Selective enforcement became the new normal. Protecting high-ranking loyalists became policy. The promise to drain the swamp had been transformed into a machine for shielding the powerful, silencing the vulnerable, and reshaping American democracy into a personal power structure.
You said this was all a hoax. Has your Attorney General told you this was a hoax? What evidence have you seen of that?
The Attorney General. It's all been a big hoax. It's perpetrated by the Democrats, and some stupid Republicans and foolish Republicans fall into the net, and so they try and do the Democrats' work. They're wasting their time with a guy who obviously had some very serious problems, who died 3-4 years ago. He's dead, he's gone, and all it is the Republicans, certain Republicans got duped by the Democrats, and they're following a Democrat playbook.
Even after the lies, the broken promises, and the open contempt he's shown for his own supporters, Donald Trump still commands one of the most loyal political bases in modern American history. He called his followers stupid. He backtracked on his biggest pledges, from releasing the Epstein files to lowering the cost of groceries, medicine, and housing. Yet his base remains.
Former President Donald Trump is launching a new social media platform. The Trump Media and Technology Group has entered into a partnership to create Truth Social, as it's being called.
He built his own echo chamber. Truth Social wasn't just another platform. It was a megaphone for disinformation, a pipeline for racial lies, economic falsehoods, and smears against his political opponents. It created an alternate reality, one where Trump was always right, and America's problems were always someone else's faults. Immigrants, Democrats, minorities, or even the deep state.
Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all.
Traditional media helped. Fox News, despite being sued and found guilty of spreading falsehoods on air, continued to amplify Trump's narratives. The partnership blurred the line between news and propaganda, normalizing lies, depending, and deepening division. Trump's language became a weapon. Phrases like enemy of the people and Democrat shutdown weren't just insults. They framed politics as an us versus them war. In Trump's America, unity was weakness. Division is power.
In the name of our God, I ask you to have mercy upon the people in our country who are scared now. There are gay, lesbian, and transgender children in Democratic, Republican, and independent families. Some who fear for their lives.
Faith became a weapon against accountability. Trump relied on followers to absolve him every scandal, every time, every death linked to his decisions could be wiped clean in the eyes of his base if they simply believed that he was chosen by God. This is how Trump stole America.